On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Here.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Here.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Here.
Mayor Rigoloso. Okay, we have 5 ayes, which means a quorum is present for this regular meeting of the Garfield City Council, which is being held today, which is February the 13th, 2018. This regular meeting is being held in accordance with provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice has been provided by mail, facsimile, and email to the official city newspapers and to other interested parties, and by posting the meeting notice on the bulletin boards in City Hall. If everyone would please rise, we'd like to begin with a flag salute. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father and Almighty God, may all who are in authority act in accordance with your commandments. Grant them wisdom and understanding, that through their actions your people may be guided and directed in righteousness and in unity. And we ask this in your name. Amen. Is there a motion to approve the reports of the Cabinet as presented orally and in writing during the work session held earlier this evening?
So moved.
Is there a second? Joe Delaney, second? Sure. Okay, motion by Councilmember Arundellini, seconded by Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, resolutions number 42, 2 and including number 46, have 5 signatures on them, so if there's no objection, I will take one roll call vote on those resolutions. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Okay, number 47. We have a resolution authorizing additional engineering services in connection with the new police station project. It's signed by council members Aloya, Joseph Delaney, Arundellini, and Richard Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Yes.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. The next resolution is one authorizing payment to K-Tech for providing asphalt coring and testing services for the Lincoln Place Road Improvement Project, City of Garfield, signed by the entire City Council. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. The next resolution we have is a resolution authorizing payment to DS Meyer Enterprises LLC for emergency water valve replacement work at Prospect Street. On the roll call, it's introduced by council members Aloya, Joseph Delaney, Arundellini, and Richard Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Next resolution is one authorizing an emergency water line repair to DS Myers for a broken water main in Midland Avenue near Plaudeville Avenue, City of Garfield, signed by council members Aloya, Joseph Delaney, Arundellini, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Next one is a resolution authorizing change order number 1 and final in connection with the improvements to Lincoln Place, City of Garfield. The resolution is signed by council members Aloya, Joseph Delaney, Arundellini, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. And 52, resolutions number 52, 2 and including number 60 have signatures of all the council members present. So if there's no objection, I'll take one roll call vote on all those resolutions. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Okay, we go to number 61.
Can we table 61? That's the GIF, right? I like to table 61.
Is that the pleasure of the signers to
Yeah.
hold this?
That's you.
Sure.
Okay, it's held up. Okay, we have a resolution to appoint an interim city attorney for the city of Garfield, that being Robert A. Ferraro Esquire, for a term beginning immediately and continuing until his successor is appointed. The resolution is signed by council members Joseph Delaney, Aaron Delaney, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, council member Aloya.
Mr. Lavin, my vote is for you. I vote no.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Abstain.
Councilmember Aaron Delaney.
Yeah, aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Mr. Lavin, since you're here, I'm always wondering this, with an abstention, does the abstention, somebody abstains, does that go into affirmative vote? Well, does it go with to the majority of the votes?
Yes.
It does, so if somebody was to abstain,
No, I'm sorry.
It does not.
Does it get counted with the rest of the votes? What are you asking?
yes, so does it get moved to, say there's one abstain
Right.
and 4
Oh, no,
yeses?
No, it does not change the number needed for the vote,
Needed, no, but what if it's not needed?
but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know, but
It's an affirmation.
could it be moved, can an abstain vote ever be moved to, no? I vote yes, by the way.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Yeah, complicated. So everybody knows that our last city attorney, Chris Dickus, he resigned. We discussed it, resigned over salary, and he moved on. I want to thank him for getting me through my first year. So we talked to a couple other attorneys, and at this point, we settled for Robert Ferraro Esquire, and I vote aye.
Okay, we have 3 ayes, 1 nay, and 1 abstention. The resolution passes. Bills and claims, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Resolved by the City Council of the City of Garfield that the following bills, number 2079 to 2082, covering Community Policing Trust Fund and Dog Trust Fund totaling $5,929.77, and the current fund reserve totaling $68,467.23, and the current fund totaling $335,662.00, and the water fund reserve totaling $162,621.87, and the water fund current totaling $12,003.91, and the general capital fund totaling $19,762.00, and the water capital fund totaling $2,763.00, per attached computer list, be ordered paid, and the proper officers are hereby authorized to issue checks for same, provided there are funds in the respective appropriations. Be it further resolved that the action of the mayor, city clerk, and city treasurer in issuing checks and payment on the ratification list, which includes 28 items prior to the meeting, be ratified. Bills and claims resolution is signed by the entire city council. On the roll call, council member Aloya.
Aye.
Council member Calandrillo.
Aye.
Council member Aaron Delaney.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Bills and claims are approved. Ordinances, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, please.
Okay. The following entitled ordinance was introduced at a meeting held on January the 23rd, 2018. It was duly published. Copy was posted on the bulletin boards in City Hall. Copies were made available to the general public, and having complied with the law, this ordinance was not read in full, and the City Council can now proceed with the public hearing and final passage. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Garfield amending ordinance number 2338, which established the Garfield Redevelopment Agency pursuant to the Local Redevelopment and Housing Law, NJSA 40A:12-1, et sec. We need a public hearing on this.
Tom,
Yeah. Mr. Dutch, can you just explain this ordinance before we go to the public hearing?
Certainly. For the members of the public who are here this evening, this ordinance was the result of a recommendation by Mr. Frank Wiegand. Frank Wiegand is special counsel to the redevelopment agency. Mr. Regan's history, just so everyone knows, he was a professional planner before he became an attorney. He was part of the overall Longway redevelopment project. He looked at our redevelopment agency ordinance, establishing the agency, and he noted that there are limitations in places that are allowed for redevelopment. In fact, the limitations are so central that it just allows River Drive and Monroe Street, it allows some property on Hobart Place and some property on Passaic Street. So we actually have redeveloped properties that are not included in the scope of the redevelopment zone. And that was, as an example, the whole Samuel Hurd complex is not listed here. So Mr. Regan has recommended that the ordinance be changed to say that the redevelopment agency, if the city designates an area in need of redevelopment or for a study, that the redevelopment agency would be designated as the redevelopment entity for the entire city, unless the city determines otherwise. So it just broadens the scope. It allows redevelopment in areas throughout the city, as long as the mayor and council agree.
For this ordinance and this ordinance only, if anybody would like to come up and discuss it. I see no hands.
You close the public hearing?
We're going to close the public hearing.
Okay, on second reading and final adoption, Councilmember Aloya.
No.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
No.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Well, I'm just going, it's on the advice of our attorney, because I put more trust in him than I do than myself with regards to the laws with this, so I'm definitely voting aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
I vote aye.
Okay, we have three ayes and 2 nays. The ordinance is adopted. On introduction, we have bond ordinance to authorize the acquisition of parking permit enforcement equipment for the use of the police department in, by, and for the city of Garfield in the county of Bergen, state of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $63,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. This ordinance was introduced by the entire city council. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Yes.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney. Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. We have on introduction, an ordinance to amend and revise Chapter 5-28 of the Code of the City of Garfield to allow non-residents to serve on the Event Planning and Recreational Advisory Committee. The ordinance is introduced by council members Joseph Delaney, Arundellini, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
No.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Non-residents do we have any non-residents that have served on the committee for the Centennial?
Yes.
Yes.
About half the committee was non-resident.
And what was it, was teachers, or is that what?
There were
or educators?
ex-residents, no, they weren't teachers, and...
There were some
Like Pat
teachers.
Gallagher was
One
the
teacher,
treasurer.
there was the VFW, not VFW, I'm sorry, the Boys Club, Sugar was on it, Pat Gallagher from the YMCA was on it, Tara was on it, they're all non-residents. And those are the ones who applied
Yeah, he
for
did say
this year.
All right, I'm going to vote aye on this.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 4 ayes, 1 nay. The ordinance passes on introduction. Also on first reading or introduction, an ordinance amending the code of the City of Garfield, Chapter 341, thereof entitled zoning, to change the designation of certain zone locations. The ordinance is introduced by the entire city council. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calandrillo.
Yes, I vote aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. The ordinance passes on introduction, and that concludes all written items for voting at this time. Mr. Mayor and members of the city council.
Okay, at this time, we're going to open it up to the public, taxpayers. Everybody will have, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. For the ladies and gentlemen of the public, if you have the schedule in front of you, the listing of ordinances that are being considered, it also says on introduction an ordinance amending the towing ordinance. The towing ordinance is still a work in progress. Mr. Marsh met today, Lieutenant Marsh met today with the city clerk. There's still work that needs to be done on the towing ordinance. We are working on it. In terms of the food handler's license, there was extensive discussion this evening with our health inspector, Mary Gerasi, and with our police chief, Raymond Kovac, who had numerous comments. The mayor and council had the opportunity to make their comments, make their wishes known, and the instructions were given by the governing body to those individuals to work on the ordinance, to have a draft ready for consideration by the mayor and council at the next meeting. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome. Okay, at this time, we're going to open it up to the taxpayers and residents. Remember, everybody will have 3 minutes. Anybody like to approach? Yeah, sir, come on up. Just state your name and address, please.
Yeah, it's on.
There's a
You
mic.
can see the green light right from there. I know. I don't always see either.
Good evening, my name is Grayson Springer. I reside at 139 Jewel Street, Garfield, New Jersey. The reason I'm here is because of the ambush and total blitz of the police department ticketing residents for expired stickers. Now, the issue I have with this is that your driver's license, your registration, and your stuff, these are things that you're notified when they're going to expire. Now, the resident sticker, most people don't think about those things because, and what I found kind of interesting is that residents are paying $55, the same thing as if your registration sticker was expired, which to me is kind of ridiculous. Because number one, the residents are not notified of the stickers, the expiration, and not only did it happen, Thursday was the first, so the police actually went on a blitz, a ticket for expired tickets Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is at $55 a pop. Now, my problem is that my wife usually comes and get the stickers, and those stickers are issued off of, let's suppose you have 3 cars. That means that a resident spent $165 for expired stickers. So you have the end of January, which my ticket expired, and now I'm going to be paying $110 for 2 cars, which I think is kind of ridiculous because you're basically sticking up the residents.
Mr. Springer, I'm sorry. Are you talking about parking stickers, or are you talking about registration stickers?
No, I'm talking about the resident stickers.
Oh, the resident, okay, parking, okay,
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
And I'm told that you guys are going to be going electronically in a couple of months, but the issue is also that I heard it was said that these things are being issued because of illegal residents. And I want to know, how does a sticker on a car transfers to illegal housing? Because more than likely you have more cars in the town than you have houses. So I think it was absolutely ridiculous for 3 days knowing that you're not going to be able to get down here to get a sticker not till Monday, and the police are taking in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I need to know going forward, because I know the city needs money, but come on, not just sticking out the residents like that. I could see maybe $30, about $55, and with those things, you're notified, so you don't have no excuse, because the state or whoever notify you in mail saying, listen, your driver's license or whatever is going to expire in 2 months or whatever. But and let's be real, how many people are really paying attention to that sticker that's in your back window? I work in New York, and I took over my wife's car, so I'm coming home 2 o'clock in the morning. When I get up, I go and look at my car the next day. 4:30 in the morning, my car's ticketed. Like, it's like a stick-up.
Anybody?
You're the mayor.
We're going to address this Mr. Springer, at the end of all the meetings, after all the residents get a chance to talk, we're going to address your issue.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
you're welcome.
I didn't catch your first name, I'm sorry.
Grayson.
Okay, thanks.
You guys probably know that my wife is Ruth,
Okay.
okay?
All right, at this time, I don't see any hands. We're going to open up the council. Mr. Lawyer.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Springer, with regard to the sticker program, it's unfortunate that you got the tickets. Be glad to talk to you about that privately with regard to the value of the tickets. But there is a value to the program. It's amazing how many people walked into City Hall saying, "There's 6 of us living in the apartment. Why are you picking on us?" Oh, really? There's 6 of you in a 1-bedroom? You know, it really did work. It has its flaws, it has its imperfections. I believe there is a date on the sticker, but regardless of the expiration issue, the fact of the matter is the necessity for us to manage the streets of the city is essential. And I do think you're also right in your comment, there's probably more cars than people. But that's what we're trying to deal with. And hopefully we'll enhance this program once again. We can't interact, I apologize for that. But that's why I said I'd be glad to talk to you after the meeting. But and it'll enhance the program because we voted on tonight to buy the cars that can read the license plates automatically. So hopefully there'll be less time spent in City Hall, more time managing the streets, keeping the streets safe, it definitely does work managing who we are as a city. There was no other issue that was brought to our attention, so therefore I can cut my comment short. I wish all those a happy Valentine, because tomorrow's Valentine's Day. I hope everyone has a enjoyable evening with your significant other. On that, Mayor, I'll turn it over to Mr. Calandrillo.
Councilman Calandrillo.
Yes, I'm sorry to hear that you got those summonses. However, I'm going to go back. You know, when we instituted this parking permit process in relation to illegal housing, it was very successful in finding some of the attic apartments, basement apartments, because pretty much the cars are on the street. When we had the system in place, it was very successful. As to whether or not that success is still exposing the illegal apartments, I'm not 100% sure. We're trying to make a system a better system. In the past, we've never charged for the parking permits, but we have had a huge impact from the illegal apartments. To date, I think last couple of years, we've been approaching close to $100,000 in fines on these illegal apartments. So system is working. The tickets are $55, which hurts, you know, our town. You know, we're a blue-collar town, and that's a lot of money. So I'm very sorry to hear that you were affected in that way. You know, when I hear a lot about when people move into town, landlords aren't telling them about the requirements for parking. Landlords aren't telling them about the general rules, garbage rules, what's going out. 'Cause we're having summonses given out with garbage. You know, I think there should be a packet from our building department. When you obtain your CO, there should be something explaining at least the parking rules. Because, you know, every time a tenant moves in and out, the landlord has to go for a CO. That should be given to the tenant, because people do get summonses, they're unaware of the laws, and it does hurt. You know, it's something that does compound and cost money. So I think we have to step up and improve our system here and get that better. You know, we were working in our work session, and I brought up an issue. Back on January 9th, we passed a bill to the tune of $12,335. We paid it to a contractor to install a new water line for a new construction house on 203 Midland Avenue. The ordinance reads, if there's new construction, single, two-family, multi-family, residence, commercial property, the owner of that property shall be required to replace or install the water line from the structure to the main. No You can't sign any release forms. You can't say, well, if there's a problem down the line, I'll step up. This happens to be a property that's for sale, so even if there was an indemnity type of statement, it doesn't apply, because the house is going to be sold, and somebody would have gotten an old water line. Turns out, Passaic Valley Water put in a new meter, and went to turn the water on, there was no water. Basically because years ago, the city disconnected it because of leaky lines. So, turns out, Public Service was told to open it up, because they did on Midland Avenue. As a property owner, I know, they went down Midland Avenue and they replaced all the gas lines. The first tendency was to think that maybe Public Service did damage to the water line. That was not the case. Which brings me back to my initial point. If the builder, property owner, developer, whatever, was told, you have to comply with the ordinance, and the ordinance is clearly stated, you need to replace the water line, a 1-inch water line. That wasn't done. So because of that, because of bringing in Public Service and all, that's the spin of it, saying, well, the city paid for it. You all pay for that water line. Costs $12,000. Every other person that builds a home has to pay out of their pocket. Their contractor opens the road. They have to post money to the city. After a year, if it's done properly and the road is paved properly, the road is not sinking in, then it's given back to the property owner. The ordinance was not followed properly. The bill was put on, was recommended to us to vote. I was against it. I didn't know everything that I know now as to what the circumstances were, but I just never remember receiving a resolution to put a water line into someone's new construction. If they're fortunate enough to be able to build a new home, if they're fortunate enough to have that luxury, then guess what? The law states you've got to put the new line in. And why was that not done? I've heard different versions, but bottom line is it was presented to this council for payment, which is, we're breaking our own laws. The ordinance states, I just read it. I'm not going to be redundant in reading it again. So there's a lot of different spins on this. So looking forward, I've asked that the bill be presented to the property owner. Let him reimburse the city for what the city just paid. And I was told by the city manager, no, that's not going to happen. So I have a problem with that. I just don't think this is, certain people have special privileges. I think everybody has to go by the same laws. And an ordinance is an ordinance. Nobody has the right to give relief to that. Not the council. Maybe you go in front of the zoning board, but even with utilities, they don't have that right. Here we are. If you have a water bill that's high, we only give the city manager the allowance to knock it down a certain percentage. But now we're talking about a $12,000 fee that should have been onto the developer or the property owner. So with that, I just want to, on the record, I want people to know what's going on in this town. Also, I want to wish everyone, on a different note, happy Valentine's Day. It's here tomorrow, and I believe it's also Ash Wednesday tomorrow. We have a couple of holidays that are days coming forward that are same days, same dates. So with that, I thank you for listening.
Councilwoman.
Yes, Mr. Springer, I think we can all sympathize with you regarding the fines that were given, but as you said, we are going to begin implementing a new system, which will bring us to the 21st century, and as the other councilman said, there is definitely a method to our madness regarding the illegal apartments, and the system that we currently have does bring up some red flags, and hopefully the new system that we are going to implement will continue to do so, and also make it more convenient for our residents. and also any guests that they have. Just very quickly, Mr. Calangelo mentioned a welcome packet, which I think is a great idea, which is why it has been discussed at our Green Team meetings, which I am the chair of. We currently have some city employees working on this in addition to their regular duties, so I'm going to, give them the time so that they can do so accurately. We are also on deadline with our recycling and garbage brochure we are currently revamping. We have a graphic designer working on it, and they are going to have it to us by Friday so that it could be edited, printed, and sent out by March, because I believe everyone's current brochures expire in April. So that's current priority, but we are looking at this welcome packet. However, I personally would like to see it online. I'm sure it will end up being pretty lengthy, and as a Green Team initiative, our goal is to save paper, so that's definitely something I want to see with that, and then also down the road with that recycling and garbage brochure too. That's pretty much all I have. This Friday, we have the YMCA Comedy Night. If anyone's interested in coming out, I know at the last meeting, I announced the Black History Month event on February 24th at 4 p.m. I announced it was at the library, and someone from the audience corrected me, and I announced what was presented to me, but it will be held, I believe, at the Senior Center on the 24th at 4 p.m. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, and, I also, too, just want to put on the record that I have full faith in Tom Dutch as our city manager. I know all 5 of us voted yes in appointing him last year, so I don't believe any special privileges were being made. So, thank you, and have a great night.
Deputy Mayor.
Mr. Springer, I agree basically what was said already from my prior council members, but I don't believe our police department went on a ticket blitz, because I just don't see them doing that. It's just that many of the stickers expire at the same time. It's always at the end of the month. We did have quality of life meetings, and in those meetings, I believe, Mr. Calangelo, you attended the first one, but after that, you didn't come. But the last 2 meetings, we have discussed, myself, the mayor, the building department, other forces of the city, with regardings, when somebody does come in for a CO, that they are going to be handed a package detailing all the information with regards to their apartment. So we did discuss this at the quality of life meeting. Am I right, Mayor?
That's correct.
So it is on the table. They are working on it. I know our building department definitely is. So, and I got full faith in our building department, as I do in our DPW superintendent, where I read in the email where that he had made a determination that public service had something to do with the problem in the lines that was just brought up. Now, it's not my job to go to every house and check water lines. It's not nobody's job up here, but it's my job to have faith in our DPW superintendent. If he suggests that we have to do something that, it isn't protocol, but you always have to listen to whatever the reasons may be. Everything's not always black and white. So I don't know why the determination was made, but I'm definitely not going to accuse anybody up here of favoritism because of whoever, somebody owns the house, whatever. That's totally unprofessional, and it's not the way that this city administration operates. I know that for a fact. I've been sitting up for 15 years. It's totally absurd to even to think that. We've always, tried to do what's best for the city, even though a lot of people don't agree with it all the time. But we just always try to do what's best. And that's it. With that, we do have Valentine's Day tomorrow. I know I spent a fortune on my spouse and my daughter, but they deserve it. With that, I'd like to wish all the women a happy Valentine's Day in the city of Garfield.
Okay. Mr. Springer, I know it's a hard pill to swallow when you wake up and you got a ticket on your window. I just want to echo what Deputy Mayor said. I don't believe the police go on a blitz and ticket it, but this is why we're changing our parking ordinance. We're going to electronic. We're getting out of this sticker, and we're going on to a reader. It's better, but people like you won't get a ticket. Cops could just drive down the street and scan your license plates without getting out of the car, and they'll know that you're a resident. And it automatically renews every year. That's what we're looking for. Fortunately, that's not going to happen until the next couple of months, but it is a tough pill to swallow. I apologize for that. I want to thank Jay Lavin for filling in for our attorney for this past month. It's a tough to ask him, but I do appreciate it very much. I'm looking forward to working with Bob. He was here a few years back, and he served the city really good, and it'll be a smooth transition. We did interview a couple attorneys, and Bob, I believe, is the best pick at this time. For our, the accusations have been made about something going on with 206 Midland Ave, or 203 Midland Ave, and the water line, and it's tough to understand, because, I know this administration really watches the dollar in this town. We're a AA- bonding. I mean, we are the highest that we could get for this demographics. And, we're in good standings. We don't spend frivolously. We watch our dollar, and just to give out money because it was either bad communication or something went wrong. But as far as the accusations that something funny was going on there, I'm totally against that altogether. With that being said, happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Did you get your wife something?
Nope. I didn't get her anything. I got her 6 kids. Wow. At this time, meeting adjourned.
Motion?
Motion.
Okay,
So
who said,
moved.
okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Got 5 ayes.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see the documents, I have them right here.